website? Nope, no. See, I screwed it up. All right, cool. Welcome back to Sikora Success. We are officially live. I went to add the Sikora banner on the top right-hand side, and then I feel like I screwed it up, but I didn't. So today we have Jasmine Cologne on. Super excited to have you as a part of our family, as a part of our team. We saw, when Jason and I first met with you, we saw a lot of potential in what you will be as a real estate agent. And now you're starting to groove. You're starting to kind of find that, like, I know you're out on showings, you're doing your thing. So tell us, what made you decide to get your real estate license?
I think one of the key factors for me was moving back home. So I was living in Pasadena, California for a little bit, and I moved back home with the whole, pandemic. And it really was the first time, I think, throughout my entire career where I got to have a conversation with myself about what I wanted in the future and what I wanted my next role to be, and really kind of weigh the pros and the cons of where I was at. And I looked at the world and everything was so chaotic and upside down, and there was so much uncertainty. But for some reason, real estate was just on fire. Like real estate, I think, and Amazon were the only two industries not affected by the pandemic. And I was like, you know what? I love homes. I love design. I love talking to people. I love just flexibility. I love the fact that I can be challenged in new ways. And I think real estate offers that. So I said, you know what? If you don't try it now, you're always going to regret it. So go get your license, go try it and see what it's about, because everybody has such amazing things to say. And I've never met a realtor who hates their job. They always have great things to say. They love it. They talk about all the pros, the people they meet, the benefit of helping, and the fact that it just is constantly changing. And I was like, all right, I could do this. Let's make it happen. And then I found you guys, and it's been an amazing 6 months.
Awesome. And I feel like too, it's funny, as you're saying, like, I've never met a realtor that doesn't love what they do. I meet them all the time, but I feel like they love to make fun of their experience. Like, it's like, if you follow the broke agent on Instagram, he's always talking about like my 2021 year in review. And it's like, I sold 20 homes. I did this volume. I did this. I drank this many bottles of wine. Like, it's like going through the actual, like the joking side of things. But no, it really is like, it's a rewarding business to be in, because you're helping somebody, you're consulting, you're guiding them on what most of the time their purchase is the biggest asset in their portfolio. And like, I feel like people, I mean, I definitely drive it home, but I feel like people kind of take that lightly. It's not like, you don't want to just list with your next door neighbor because they went and got their real estate license. You want to list with the person that manages like the most wealth in the real estate community or something like that. If it, kind of think of it as a wealth manager. And I heard Tina Cole say that one time. So when you decided to come with us, and I know you say 6 months, but we hit some blips in the road, right? Like, it wasn't even just getting your real estate license active was not.
It was a struggle. It was, and I didn't think it was going to be that, when you go into like school, I did it virtually. So it's like very easy, and they break it out to you, and it's like, oh, it's so easy. You follow this step, and then, you get your fingerprints, and you take your like school exam, and then we register for your state exam. And then in about 2 weeks, you have your license, then you hit the road running, and then you have this amazing career. My experience was not like that. I don't know if it was the pandemic, but it definitely took me a little bit longer than I would have liked. I know you guys were like, what's going on here? To get licensed, and it was such a struggle. And I'm not sure if it was the pandemic. I'm not really sure what set it off. But there was definitely some hurdles. I'm so happy now. Like, I look at my license, it's in my wallet laminated, and I'm like, what I had to do to get you was insane.
If anybody has any questions, what happens when like it's not a seamless process and transition to finding it, Jasmine knows how to get in touch with the people down in Trenton at the real estate commission. She probably knows everybody from the onboarding side of EXP at this point. So she's an absolute pro on troubleshooting where the hell did my license go?
Yes. And I had to send so many thank you emails once I got it, because I know I was super persistent. I was like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey, it's me again. Can't avoid me. Should I come to your office? Like, what's your address? So I had to send a million thank you emails as soon as I got licensed. But It's been so exciting. I'm so happy that I waited, and although it took some time, it's just been so worth it.
No, definitely. And now that you're up on the other side, you're fully, as of, I would say, January 10th or something, you're cranking on the MLSs, you're doing your thing. What are some of the goals? I mean, what are you looking to do year one in the real estate world?
I have some competition within our team. We have some amazing agents that came on and kind of just rocked it this year.
Yep.
So I think year one, it's really I'm in a unique position, right? Because of my role as a bit of a hybrid role. So I got to see the op side of it, just the back end of real estate transactions that I feel like a lot of people just don't get to see. So I feel really happy that I was awarded that opportunity. But I think this year it's just a matter of taking those learnings and really applying them, growing my business, really trying to be strategic in what areas I serve, and just the best way to kind of serve my buyers or my sellers, and kind of just lean on the fact that I'm still a new agent, right? So there's a lot of things that I may not know, but I'm super eager to learn. And
Yep.
I'm really excited to build that book of business and help people, and teach them anything I can, and I think the team has been super helpful with that. They've just been an amazing source of support. When I have a question, in 60 seconds, I get an answer, honestly, less sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting and rewarding to know that I'm a part of such a great team, um, with just like an endless amount of potential. So I'm really looking forward to what this year has to offer.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. Like we try to give everybody the access to experience and question, problem solving, whatever it may be, like in such a short amount of time. And like we try to really rapid fire and like hammer the agent so that they have almost 12 years experience by the first year, compared to other real estate agents and other teams that are operating out there. So definitely, and I feel like it helps the new agent too, where like you can reach out to your friends and family with confidence saying like, those guys got my back. I'm not going to screw this up. I promise. They're going to hop in. They're going to hold my hand. They're going to make sure this whole thing goes exactly how you want it to go. But what, to that point too, what are your service areas? Where are you looking to do real estate?
Bergen County and Hudson County. I'm just a Bergen County girl. I grew up there. I know the area like back of my hand. And then Hudson County. And actually, I want to get into a little bit of like an Essex County because I know that we have some need over there. So if I can kind of get in that area too and get, clients over there, why not? So
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty decent part of like northern, New Jersey. That's where we kind of kill it anyways. So
Yep.
I've been lucky enough to have some of the agents on the team like trust me enough to do showings for them out there and assist where I can there. And I say, why not?
Awesome. Definitely. And do you have any, like for an agent out there that's new or maybe an experienced agent, anything that you've observed that they can kind of like an actionable takeaway that they could implement right away?
I think the thing that I've learned the most just being a part of the team is if you don't know something, it's totally fine. We have agents on the team who are very seasoned, who kill it in their area, who close a heck of a lot of business, and they still don't know things. And they still are like, hey guys, can you help me? I think what I would say to anyone is don't be afraid to lean on your team. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Like, I don't
Yep.
know the answer to it. I'm not sure. Let me get back to you. I think that level of like honesty is really appreciated. I think it just, goes a long way in building that trust with your clients. And it really is just like, it's a learning experience for all of us, right? We're all going to go into situations that I'm sure you've sold homes and you're like, oh, I got this. And then something happens. You're like, wait, what? Like you kind of get blindsided. So being able to say, okay, I don't know and I need to get back to you. Let's figure it out is the best takeaway. And that's for new agents and like seasoned agents as well. We see it all the time in our Slack messages.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely, it's a humbling experience for sure.
No, definitely. And that's so huge too. Cause even like me too, I tell people what I am best at is being around people that know more than me. So like I always try, even at like my level, I hang with Kyle Whistle and Dan Beer and like all those guys. And I just sit at the table and I shut up and I just listen. And I try to figure out, okay, how can I implement that? Or I ask a question and I'm curious. And I feel like everybody, whether they're a brand new agent in our family, Mike David actually is individual agent, has a ton of, I'm actually hopping on with him right after this, but has a ton of great questions. And the people who ask the most questions without being like annoying, but like ask the most questions and like are always curious about more answers and whatnot, and not over promising and under delivering to a client, or not just bullshitting an answer about an oil tank, something you don't know anything about. They have so much success in this business. And it's really just tying like action creates those questions, and then ask the questions, get the answers, and then continue, and just like that's the whole circle around it. So
100%. People also love to teach.
yeah,
People really do love to talk and teach. And if you're like, hey, I don't know something, there's so many times I've like messaged people on our team, like, I don't know, and I get a phone call back. And it's a 10-minute conversation for something that could have been answered in 30 seconds. But it's just like people really love to show you something. And when you show an interest in learning and are eager and want to, they'll take you all the way to the top with them, you know? And I think that that's really important. Something I've really learned more in this industry in the last 6 months than any other job that I previously had.
yeah, that's actually a good point too. I see a lot of agents that on our team, outside our team, everything like that, where they'll seek out more of a senior agent too, and say, how do I give you a better opportunity to make more money and ride your coattails up with you? And then maybe you get to a point where you're like, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore. Now I have a whole huge book of clients and stuff like that too. But there's so many agents that crush it, just latching on to another, like a senior agent that needs help in a lot of ways. So no, that's definitely a good point. And to kind of wrap it, any other last thoughts before I wrap it up?
No, just so
All
happy
right.
to be here. And like, I was nervous before, and now I'm like, oh, I could do this for another hour.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Once you get going, you're just ripping. So shoot video, do a lot of video, but and don't think about it. But how would somebody get in touch with you if it was a client looking in those service areas that you just mentioned, or if it's a realtor that's like, hey, I love that story, I'd love to have you teach me something or come into this world, wherever it may be. What's a good way to get in touch with you?
My cell, you can call me at 201-470-8560. If you want to text me, you can do that too. It's literally attached to my hip. So call or
Awesome.
text. I'm available.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Take care.